Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into Canada using insights from Canada, land of lakes, culture, and maple. Our goal here is to pull out the key takeaways, give you a shortcut to understanding what makes Canada tick. We're talking its massive size, yes, but also its culture, some surprising global roles. It's quite a mix.
Exactly. We want to go beyond just the postcard view.
Right.
Really connect the dots on Canada's uniqueness, the nature, sure, but also the identity, how it interacts with the world. It's fascinating stuff.
Okay, so let's dive right in. First up, the land itself. Canada's sheer scale and all that fresh water. We know it's big, of course, but the source really highlights how being the second largest country shapes, everything.
It really does. That vastness is fundamental.
And the water, wow, the numbers are pretty staggering. Over 2 million lakes, holding more fresh water than any other country. That's huge. The source mentions places like Lake Louise, with that incredible turquoise water.
It's iconic.
But it's more than just pretty scenery, isn't it? It positions Canada as this, guardian of vital resources.
Absolutely. And what's fascinating here, connecting that vastness to the people, is the population density, or rather the lack of it. It's surprisingly low for such a huge country.
Right. You wouldn't necessarily expect that.
And the implication, as the source points out, is these enormous stretches of untouched wilderness, which is amazing for nature, but also presents, real challenges for connecting the country.
Development and infrastructure, I guess.
Exactly. So you get this picture of quiet wonders, as the source puts it. Mountain cities, sure, but also just vast, wild spaces.
So you've got this incredible geography, sparse population. What does that actually mean for the country's identity, for its people? How does that shape things?
Well, that's a great bridge to the cultural side, because Canada's identity is just as unique. The source really emphasizes the bilingual culture, English and French as official languages.
Which is pretty unusual on a national scale.
It is. And it's not just, a leftover from history. It signals this really deep commitment to multiculturalism.
Okay, so it's actively part of the national fabric.
Woven right in. It affects policy, daily life, everything. A real cornerstone.
That dual heritage, the multicultural focus, that's definitely key. And if we connect this culture to, maybe something a bit sweeter, you can't ignore maple syrup.
Definitely not.
The source notes Canada produces something like, over 70% of the world's supply?
That's the number. It's massive.
But the really interesting insight here, I thought, was the connection to indigenous traditions.
Yes, that's crucial.
It's not just this modern industry or a breakfast thing. It's rooted way back. Adds a whole different layer to that national pride.
Exactly right. It's this blend of ancient practice and, modern economic powerhouse. Really embodies a unique part of Canadian heritage.
So that link to the land, these deep traditions, they clearly shape Canada from the inside. But what about how Canada sits in the world? There's that border fact.
Yes, the border with the U.S.
The longest international land border on Earth. Nearly 9,000 kilometers. That's a lot of border.
It is. And this raises an important point, especially today. The source specifically calls it a peaceful line.
A peaceful line, okay.
And the insight isn't just the length, it's that description. In a world with so many contested borders, this stands out. It speaks volumes about, unique relationship, managing differences without major friction, mostly. A kind of global anomaly.
Yeah, when you put it like that, the world's longest border and its defining characteristic is peaceful. That does make you think about Canada's whole approach internationally. So, what does this all mean for you listening in? We've taken this deep dive, pulled out these key threads from the source material. We went from the sheer scale of its nature, all that water, to its unique bilingual multicultural identity, that deep maple syrup heritage.
Right.
And then landed on this idea of the world's longest peaceful border. The source really nails it with that phrase. Canada's full of quiet wonders waiting to be explored, but hopefully now you have a better sense of why those wonders matter.
And perhaps a final thought to leave you with. Given everything we've touched on, the vast land, the low density, this commitment to multiculturalism, that peaceful border, what sort of new perspectives could Canada offer, on balancing nature and culture, maybe even global cooperation as we move forward in the 21st century? Something to mull over until our next deep dive.